Okay, so we took our dream vacation to Greece. That's a map of Greece.
Pretty much, yeah.
These are just a bunch of the locations that we end up visiting, or like just the highlights of Greece. Like there's Athens, Sparta, and then we end up visiting most of these cities in here.
So Greece is a country in southeastern Europe with thousands of islands, which will make for hard traveling later. We wanted to go to it because of the mythology they have there. We just love the history, we love the architect, and we just like the beaches they have.
Okay, here's some geographical information about Greece. Those are the airports. They're spread throughout Greece.
This is a map of Athena, like the highways, the major roads that we're going to use. We have Google Translate, so we can kind of make sense of those words. Oh, and the populations are up there. They were at the bottom. Athena has Athens has like 3 million, and Greece in total has about 10.82 million.
Okay, so this is the climate of Greece, and it's in Celsius on this map down here, this graph.
Okay. This is in Celsius, and it also deals with rainfall, but if you can't read Celsius, that's okay, because we have a map on how to read a graph like at the bottom of this.
That's just basically saying the amount of rainfall that we already mentioned.
Yeah, that explains the graph up there.
And we chose to visit in the summer, specifically in June. The decision was made by determining our ideal temperature and matching them. Going in the summer additionally opens the seas up for visitation.
So each passport costs around $135 without the expedite, which basically means we ordered it in advance so we didn't have to pay money to get it faster. Together that was like $270 in US dollars.
In Greece, €1 equals around $1.09 in the US currency. After the passports, air flights, transportation, and accommodations, we'll have about $11,105.03 US dollars. This leaves us with €10,159.92.
This is an idea for meals. We didn't pick restaurant by restaurant because we felt like we'd just kind of be in the mood for what we wanted. So this shows where we're getting our numbers from, pretty much, like a really basic term of where we're getting numbers from.
Okay, this is our day-by-day itinerary, which pretty much shows like literally the days that we do. On day 1, it would fall on around June 21st, in which we would start in Culleoka, Tennessee. We would get a family member to transport us to the airport, so we wouldn't have to pay money. On our flight to Greece, we have a layover in Philadelphia, in which we'll visit the Philadelphia Zoo. So our breakfast would be free because we'd eat at home. The food at the zoo costs around $25 total. And then by meal 3, we would be on the airplane flight to Greece, so that would be about $40. Activity was visiting the zoo, which ranges around $23 a ticket. Other items would be zoo souvenirs, so $50 total. And then an Uber from the zoo to the airport and vice versa is $40 total. And at the end of the day, we would be on our way to Greece still, because it's a long flight.
Okay, the second day is going to fall on June the 22nd, be our first day of Greece. We're going to go into the airport, and then we're going to end up checking in. We're going to get our car first, and then we're going to check into our hotel. So we're going to eat at the airport, about like $25, and then the other 2 meals are going to be meals that we find in Athens, and that is for both of us, not separate. So when we get there, we're going to go on about a 3-hour guided tour we found that we really like. It's kind of expensive, but it's worth it. That also includes in like some other activities that we could go and experience. After the tour, we're going to explore the city ourselves, unguided for the rest of the day. And then during that, we saved away €200 for like souvenirs that we like to get. And at the end of day 2, we would drive back to our hotel, which would be the Life Gallery that we'll show later.
Day 3 would fall on June 23rd. We would wake up at our hotel and eat breakfast there since the price was included. As soon as possible, we would drive to Meteora. From there, we would take a tour and spend most of the day there. After we're done, we'd come back and spend the night in Athens. So, food 2 was around 45, food 3 75 because we kind of went out to like a fancy restaurant per se. The activity was driving to or from Meteora, and gas price would probably end up only being like 10 euros. We went on a tour and we shopped at Meteora and surrounding areas, so 150 euros. And other items, 400 euros for a night out in Athens.
Oh yeah, and up there, that was a map on, it was like 16 minutes away to Meteora up there. And that is like what it looks like. It's basically a big rock formation, and it's really cool. So on day 4, we woke up, it was June 24th, and we went out for our 2-hour and 30-minute drive to Sparta. So we ate at the hotel. We ate kind of a medium lunch and pretty simple dinner, but still pretty expensive. So we drove to Sparta, which would be, drove to and from Sparta, about 50 euros. We took a tour of Sparta. It doesn't really cost any money. It was more of like self-exploration. And then we got 75 worth of souvenirs. And so at the end of the day, we came back and chilled at the hotel for the rest of the night.
Day 5 would fall on June 25th. Our day would start out at the Life Gallery Athens Hotel. We would drive to Volos, which is 3 hours and 20 minutes away. We would spend most of the day in Volos and go on a tour, but leave before sunset on a 2-hour drive to Thessaloniki. From there, we would check into the Electra Palace. Since we would get breakfast at the original hotel, that would be free. Driving to Volos would cost around 44 euros. Food 2, 35 euros. Food 3, 170 euros. The activity would be another tour, and driving to Thessaloniki would be around 30 euros. And the hotel, the second hotel, we still kept the first hotel for that night, kind of so we didn't have to take everything with us on this trip because we ended up going back there. But that hotel would cost around 210 euros a night.
Yeah, that one's on the side right there of the Electra Palace. Okay, so the next day will be on June 26th. We'll spend most of our day in the city of Thessalonica. So we wake up at the hotel, the Electra Palace. We go eat, just lunch, getting kind of expensive. Then we go out to dine on the food 3. So the most of the day we're just exploring Thessalonica, and we're gonna spend about 500 euros for shopping. We're just gonna go all out, and the hotel again is 210 euros.
On day 7, it falls on June 27th. We'll eat breakfast at the hotel and make a 5-hour drive back to Athens soon after. We'll stay in Athens and be back in the Life Gallery Athens Hotel for the night. 75 euros to drive to Athens. Food 2 would cost 45 euros. Food 3, 50 euros. And more activities for shopping and such, 250 euros.
Okay, so then by this time we realized we still have a lot of money, so we decided that we would go on a big island hopping campaign, basically a kind of cruise tour, and for the 2 of us it would cost 5,200 euros. So we checked out of our hotel at Athens and returned our car because we're going to be traveling with them. The cost, most of our food, transportation, and hotels are all going to be included in that 5,200 euros. So we'll ride a bus for 8 euros, and the meals are with the tour. And we're going to go to Mykonos, and we'll travel there by ferry, and then we'll see some landmarks like the windmills and Little Venice on our way there.
Day 9, you're still in Mykonos, and you're just enjoying the full free day in Mykonos, soaking up the sun and unique island culture. Day 10 is June 30th. It's still a free day in Mykonos. You just basically spend another day doing whatever you so please.
But we did add a 71 euro exertion, which basically means an added that wasn't originally included in the original 5,200 euros. We decided to go to the island of Delos, which is an amazing spot for like history, and it just had like a lot of cool ruins, like as you can see, the Sanctuary of Apollo, the Sacred Cave, the Lion, and the House of Dionysus, which is the wine god.
On 11, you transfer to Santorini, take a ferry there. and you still have free time to discover the island's volcanic black sand beaches, cliff-lined shores, and stunning whitewashed architecture.
So the next day we're going to go sightseeing in Santorini. It's going to be a guided tour of the local sites. We'll see the prehistoric settlements, look at the architecture, go to the top of Mount Profitis for a view of the whole island, which is said to be one of the prettiest spots, not just in Greece but in the world. So we're going to go to the village of Pyrgos and the Santorini Caldera cruise. That's another excursion that we bought. It's a cruise out in the sea with a nice, really fancy dinner meal for 108 euros.
Day 13 is a free day in Santorini, and day 14 you transfer to Crete. In the afternoon we'll take a ferry to Crete, the largest of the Greek islands. Day 15 you have a free day in Crete, you just enjoy a day, and we had an excursion of 85 euros to see Chania.
So on day 16 we took the sightseeing tour of Hager Lion, and then we went back to Athens. Before we went to Athens, we were with a pretty decent sized group of people, like 35, so during that time we kind of get to meet them. So at the end we kind of had dinner with them. It's like a farewell thing with our guides. But before that we went to the ruins of Knossos, where King Minos imprisoned the Minotaur in the labyrinth, according to the myth, and we got to see the archaeological museum there.
Alright, on day 17, we fall on July 7th. The night before was spent on a plane from Athens, Greece to Philadelphia. We would still have about a 4.5 hour layover in Philadelphia, and this time we would like to see the Liberty Bell. Food 1 would cost $20, food 2 around $40, and food 3 would be plain food for $50. The activity would be seeing the Liberty Bell. Transportation would be the Uber from airport to Liberty Bell and vice versa, $40 total, and other items would be $45. At the night of June 28th, we would land back in Nashville, Tennessee, where our family members will once again transport us free of cost.
So for the travel and budgeting, it would cost about $2,775 for the round trip to Athens, Greece, from June 21st to July 7th. We wanted a reliable airline, we felt, so we went with American Airlines. And if you can scroll down, you'll see our flight pattern in there.
That's our original hotel, the Life Gallery Athens Hotel. And this just shows the rental car and cost of the airports, which we included previously. But it would be around 23 miles per gallon, so we had to pay for that. And the transportation for the airport and such would be a total around $80. And down here is the day-to-day cost. This is just showing where we spent the money. In the middle, we transferred our US dollars to euros, so we ended up with 10,202.92 euros. And then we ended up spending the rest of our money